We'll call it the enterprise network. It is the network according to the overall use area, divided into a company. Such a local area network within an enterprise. Look down. This is a simple network. 2 terminals. We hold a medium among us that can carry data. For example, a network cable, connected by such a transmission medium. This is a simple network. That's in the future, except for this. Please pay attention. Virtually every device. There must also be what we call a network card, or network port, network interface. This line, the crystal head in the middle, to be plugged into our network port. Then your final electrical signal. It is compiled by our network card or network port, and converted into 0101 binary. And if both parties want to communicate, must follow the TCP/IP protocol stack. So the network cable we are talking about now. How to make a simple network. The network card and the protocol stack are 3 elements. Is indispensable. Please pay attention. NIC and our protocol stack. It must be present at the same time. Otherwise, there is no way to connect our network. Simple network. Let's look at some common physical components. In the lower left corner we see an RJ45 connector. It's a standard. This is a standard for twisted pair. Let's just say, it actually involves a line sequence. 2 production line sequences of 568A and 568B twisted pair. It has a lot of some communication standards. For example, it's blocked, unshielded, what we call UTP, STP. If you are interested, you can take a look. In fact, the future is in the project. When we do it ourselves. That is to say, some have a shielding layer on the outside. You can shield the copper core inside our network cable. Is there an electrical signal when transmitting data? Less interference. This is our standard like RJ45. Here RJ45 later. Just know it's a crystal head. Alright. Later we will meet another. Let's say we're in the lower left corner. Have you seen this thing? Have you heard of 2G? In the early days on a very old notebook, we'll insert cards like this. In fact, it is our SIM card. In the earliest, it's plugged into the laptop. It's like I have a wireless network. It is the SIM card of our mobile phone. At that time, the mobile phone signal was still 2G signal. It does not refer to bandwidth. We mean signal 2G, 3G, 4G. Like we have 5G now. 2G is actually equivalent to lasting a long time. 3G later. But 3G has almost no sense of existence. We are already transitioning to 4G. Because the network as a whole has. Communication development is very fast. Let's look down. Down here there is a network topology type. Let me tell you this simply. Future. When our enterprise network. That is, the network architecture of the enterprise. After you have deployed the entire network, we depend on how the network is connected. The general topology can be divided into these types. The first is called a bus type bus topology. What is a bus? That is, you have a line from start to finish. But it is less used now. We call this a shared network. For now, there are not many bus topologies anymore. We now use more. Star and ring. Use more. Ring. As the name suggests, it is my main core equipment now. Note that it does not say all devices. The middle of the core equipment is connected into a ring. Or we are centered on a certain core device. Then spread the network deployment. We call it a new type of network. Roughly like this. But generally it's not so disciplined. It's not that you network. It has to be built this way. Not just with everyone. Just look at their respective names. Their names. Because in the future, we will often come into contact with this star network on my right. This is what we are most exposed to. What is also called a broadcast network. This is the one we've dealt with the most. Later we will talk about. When talking about OSPF, some topological types like this will be covered. What is the key word here? The key is the word topology. Everyone should know this. What we see in the future, including some of the equipment we painted. Devices are connected to each other. What is this kind of thing called? It's called network topology. All right. This refers to topology. You need to know this word. Further down. It is the basic structure of an enterprise network. Let's just say. For the left. We can see that it is marked very clearly. It's called small business network. What is small business network? Relatively small in size. What's down there? For example, a normal PC, a wireless device, a server or a PC desktop. Let's just assume it's the server. A switch connected to our company in the future. Switch to router. Router to WAN. The operator. Relatively speaking, you will find that its hierarchy is very simple. Terminal connected. Connected through a switch. Export to a router. Go away. Generally speaking, even our router won't buy an enterprise-grade router. This integration. High-performance router. This is our small business network. Everyone can see. Now these two pictures. What is the main difference? Small on the left. On the right is a medium to large network. The main difference between them is that we target large networks. It will be hierarchical. What level? You can see it written here. Access layer. Convergence layer. Core layer. Including some server clusters in the later stage. If the future is open to the outside world, I want to provide some access services. We'll mention server clusters. But now everyone knows. Just have some servers inside. That is, I will join in the future. Equivalent to my current overall network. The scale is relatively large. What are the characteristics of our large network scale? You will find that it has many lines. We are now for the network on the left. It's a single line. You will find between device and device. We will not do any redundant measures. Can you understand? Let's say my line is broken. Don't go online. In the future, my interface is physically damaged. Stop going online. Right. This is what we say. In fact, it is relatively low reliability. We call it the reliability of the network. That is, the ability of the network to resist risks is very small. In the event of a failure in the network, very easy to disrupt your business. It is not optimized enough. But for small businesses, business interruption may not hurt your vitals. It may come back after a period of rush repairs. You're okay. Will not cause serious economic losses. It is good. We often look down. That but to our right. You can see what its features are. There are many lines. First,